I have my favorite sound, which is sacred, which is the sound of the ocean. And it really puts me in a place where I can just balance everything. I was very afraid of death and what happens after death, all of that. And that was always like driving me nuts when I was a childhood. So I saw a very beautiful text, which is like, o rio, quando ele vai de encontro ao mar, ele treme à base de medo, porque ele sabe o quanto foi árduo todo o processo. Ele entende que não tem como ele recuar. Mas quando ele se encontra com o oceano, ele percebe que ele não desaparece, mas ele se torna no oceano. So I had this thought before, like I was a river and I was going to face this ocean, which was this so many people in the crowd. And I was afraid of it just because I was one, there were 1 million. But when I got there and started to perform, I realized that I actually became one with them. We were all becoming one. So that was a very fluid way for me to change my mindset about how I would deal with this big ocean, not being afraid of it.
Human history tells us that we've always needed time where we come together because we can't defend ourselves alone. We don't have sharp claws and talons, we can't run very fast. What we do have is an extraordinary social intelligence. There's nothing new that we come together en masse. So the earliest signs of it would be 80 to 100,000 years ago when we have culture appearing. People are using symbol to indicate which groups they belong to.
There's a video where one guy starts to dance and then someone just joined and there's two people dancing and then suddenly everyone starts to join this guy, and it needed one person to go there first of all and believe and start dancing with him so everyone could embrace that moment. But they were just genuinely connecting with it, to the music, with the happiness that was being spread there. You know, when I am in a very, very happy moment, the only thing that I can offer is happiness.
A lot of my work's been on identity fusion. This is the strongest form of cohesion that we know of. So it's when self becomes completely embedded in group. You can't extract the group from your sense of who you are.
When I was 12 years old, I didn't know how to express myself so well. I remember that I was going to perform at a party. It came the drop of the song and I raised my hands and everyone just raised their hands as well. So at that moment was the first time that I genuinely had a connection with people without even having to say one word.
Memory and anticipation are hugely important. So we have an expectation. The better that you know a genre, the higher your expectation is of what's going to happen.
The drop allows people to re-harmonize. The beat has been made much clearer and everyone comes into that particular moment. And the release is not just in the tension that's built up from the music, but the release in doing it together.
And at that moment, I had that connection where I felt that, okay, I want to do this for the rest of my life. It was a party of 200 people, and then now we're doing parties for 1 million people. And I still have that same feeling, you know, of this connection.
Collective effervescence is that fizzy, magic sensation we get of being part of something bigger than ourselves.
As you start to move together, the lights change and adapt. You're breaking down that boundary between the performer and the audience and letting it be one holistic, shared experience.
You might have goose pimples. You're both aware of everyone else around you and absorbed into that mass.
Take you to new highs.
So once you have the 50% with you, the other 50% gets into the flow as well. People just give me everything that just resonates back to me.
One of the reasons that people bond so much through these shared music and dance experiences is because they have feelings of awe. There's an opportunity to integrate others into your sense of who you are, and then you're fused.
So as people move in sync, moving to the music, that is a behaviour that we intuitively know indicates engagement. So if we're able to track the movement of their head and compare that to the tempo of the music and the motion of everyone around them, we're able to get an indication of how engaged they might be.
I'm always thinking about like how I can keep them vibing. So when you see everyone as one, it's easier to deal with.
That you could switch the flickering firelight for strobe lights. You can switch drumming on animal skins to EDM. I think the feeling of coming together with repetitive beats as one probably doesn't feel very different from how it did 80,000 years ago.
Keep art human. It was very interesting, the whole process, because when we were posting the rehearsal, people were saying, oh, this is AI. Because the rehearsal with the 50 dancers, and people couldn't believe that was real. It's because it's very impressive, actually. Because AI is made to bring you comfort, but art is not to comfort you, it's also to confront you, to make you think and reflect.
There's kind of two levels to sound. One is that we get the physical sound waves being interpreted by the brain, but the second part is that it is interpretation. Our brain is interpreting it and making sense of where it's come from, what the thing that made the sound might look like.
The main thing about the performance is always the sound system. It's at the end of the day the heart of the party, to really make people feel the bass line, the sub. The sound system is the heart of it.
Artists put a lot of time, energy and money into what you can see. However, if you take away that incredible sound quality, it will degrade the experience very quickly.
There's something in that way, the bass hits your body, that people chase. The technology influences the style of music in so many different unexpected ways.
When you get that really bassy frequency, I feel it in my physical body, my internal organs are vibrating. It transports you from the everyday into something special, almost sacred.
When you hear the proper speaker and you have that sub hitting your heart, you can really feel it. We are 80% water, so imagine what shapes inside us as well when it's vibrating. It's way more than only listening, it's also feeling. Electronic music hits you differently because of, the way it's built up and because of the sub. I mean, if we didn't have sub, we wouldn't have electronic music.
There's a bigger link here around sound system culture and all the genres that emerged from dub and reggae. With Caribbean sound systems, you get walls of speakers and they can all be very impressive displays of status and ingenuity, but they're also signals of resistance.
With getting more mature and understanding the responsibility that I am, the place that I'm occupying, I feel that we have to push culture forward and have to make people think, and that's part of the art.
One of the reasons the rave scene took off so well when it did is the right time and the right place. It was a period of people deeply frustrated with the political climate, and the music represented everything that was not. Freedom and excitement and autonomy.
Sound can just bring you to a lot of places, can create new memories as well, can make you feel happy or maybe sad.
So when we think about a major third being happy, a minor third being sad, actually in modern Western music, that's something that's very much encultured into us as a way in which we perceive music.
When I was recording my project Futures Ancestral with 8 different indigenous communities in the forest, I was just hearing beautiful sounds that I never heard before. And their way of living, they do not write anything. So the way they preserve their culture is through the songs, the music. When they're singing for the ancestrals, they're asking for permission. They're using a lot of ayahuasca to get the connection with the spirits. And I remember that every time they were singing, they had to sing for like 40 minutes. And I just wanted a take. Forgive me, ancestrals, just get me this take here.
There's some really fascinating research out there that's looked at the nature-nurture arguments of music perception and what is a nature response is the way that we perceive sound as human beings and what has been nurtured within us in our culture.
I'd say it's more than just listening to sounds in nature, it's about connecting with the wild. And too many of us are boxed in our predictable, everyday, normative ways of doing things.
While I was doing songs to work at the top 10, the indigenous people, they were doing songs for healing.
We want to understand what it means to be human so we can help the world in some way.
So I did this album, and the main goal about it is to try to bring awareness and consciousness. After becoming a father, we always have that question, which is like, what world are we leaving to our kids? But we always forget to ask what kids are we leaving to this world. Because if we live a world based in sustainability, but the new generation do not see value on that, it doesn't really matter, right? So I think that's one of my missions with this project.
If we understand how mass rituals work and what's happening in the body and the mind and our feelings and the spirit as well, then we're better placed to design rituals that help people to come together and channel those events to be about positive and pro-social things, tackling climate change, anti-racism, all the rest of it.
It's about your actions, about what you do. The world will never change with what you're saying.
With my research, I get to go to festivals and take cool pieces of tech to work out what's going on in people's bodies. It tells us how it's working. Why is it meaningful to people? Because if we understand that, then we can start to feed these discoveries into policy, and we can start to advocate to have ritual and shared experiences available to more people.
I'm always trying to learn and listen what the crowd has to say, listen what the young generation has to say. I really want to learn every day by day. I think that's the process, the only way that I can teach someone.
We're able to simulate the way speakers interact with acoustic environments much more effectively now than we ever have been, and then reproduce good sound for every seat in the house.
Music's so often symbolic of the collective emotion at the time. What that means about cultural youth and resistance at that time. I'm very curious what the next genres will be reflecting.
At the end of the day, I'm there to serve people. How do I adapt myself? How do I connect with all of them? I just see all of them as a very big wave. As the ocean, you have some moments where it's shaking a lot. There's some moments that it's more calm. But I always want to see it all as one. That's the mission every time. If I could choose one sound to listen to the rest of my life, it would be the sound of the ocean.